Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're finally back with the Galactic Storm crossover, the story that never ends. It's 19 parts long, and we're going to cover Avengers issue 346, Iron Man 379, and Mighty Thor issue 446. So without further ado, let's get into this. So we start off with the Avengers running around Hala, the capital of the Kree Empire. They're on the run from the Kree authorities. And there's a panel at the beginning of this issue that just really cracks me up, where we have Cersei. She's the only member of the team who can fly, and everyone grabbing onto her. So in previous issues, we had the Supreme Intelligence. He started recruiting his very own Kree version of the Avengers called Star Force. So we would have on this team Dr. Minerva, Shatterax, Ultimus, Captain Atlas, and Supremor himself. And what we discover progressively in the story is also that the Supreme Intelligence is the one behind this whole war itself. He's been pushing everyone into this conflict. We do not know what's his endgame yet, but we do know he wants the dual emperors that the Kree Empire has at the moment off the table. So obviously we're going to have a battle between Supremor's Star Force and the Avengers, and while this battle was raging on, this actually draws out the dual emperors that I mentioned previously, and they try to intervene in this conflict, and what happens is they're assassinated by Deathbird, who was waiting in the wings. This leads to a serious escalation into the conflict. Also, Supremor becomes the new leader of the Kree people. This leads to the Avengers being captured again by the Kree, and this time Iron Man is the one that's going to spring them out. Now, the interesting thing that happens this time is that Captain America is left behind, and Iron Man even stops Clint from trying to go back and rescue him. During this time, Captain America was being tortured by the Supreme Intelligence, but as I established in previous videos on this crossover, there was some serious beef between Captain America and Iron Man during this time. Now in Mighty Thor 446, we have another Avengers team. They're in Shi'ar space, and they have to team up with the Imperial Guard to battle against Star Force, who have arrived to assassinate Lilandra, who is the Empress of the Shi'ar. Now, I forgot to mention that we're also going to cover West Coast Avengers issue 82. So both teams defeat Star Force. They save the day. So what happens is the Shi'ar turn on the Avengers because they think they're going to try to stop them if they do any type of retaliation against the Kree over the whole Star Force thing. And I have to mention that this crossover has so many filler battles. They wanted to give you so many tie-ins that really just don't add too much to the story itself. But what we find out during the heat of the battle, leaving Lightning strikes out at Araki. He's like the right-hand man to the Empress. He's actually killed, and we discover that he's a Skrull. All this time, the Skrulls have been working with the Supreme Intelligence, trying to force this whole situation, leading to the Shi'ar battling against the Kree. This was hinted during the whole crossover that the Skrulls were sort of involved with the whole conflict, but now we discover that they're in cahoots with the Supreme Intelligence.